Hello fellow orchid lovers, it's Danielle here with a video. I know it's been a while since I spoke to you last. I really appreciate my subscribers' resilience as far as continuing to follow me. You know my pattern, I post for a while, I do really good, and then something happens in my life and it kind of derails my posting, and then I don't post for a while. So I really appreciate you sticking with me. Unfortunately, this time it was because my grandma, who's been sick with a heart problem for many years, she passed away a few weeks ago. So, you know, it's difficult to gather your thoughts and post a video when, you know, there's some sadness. So I haven't been able to post. I'm doing okay though, because I have really strong faith. I know I'll see her again. It's just that I miss her. So, and I thank you in advance for all your condolences. You guys are so great. You always are there for me. So I really appreciate it. But I miss talking to you guys. You know, even when I'm sad, I miss being able to share with you what's going on. It's good to focus on good things, even, you know, when there's some sadness. So I just wanted to bring you into the grow room and show you what's going on. There's quite a bit actually that I'm super excited about. So I'll just take you over, we'll take a look. So some of my spikes that have dropped their blooms are starting to extend. I have some of my orange blooms up there. Something really cool about them actually is they develop this time like a heart shape on their petals. Is that their petals or their sepals? I can never get, I think it's their sepals. Someone will know and you'll correct me, and I don't mind. Please tell me what it is. But you can see like the heart shape to that, which I find to be very beautiful. So I'm kind of excited about it. They've never shown that trait before. But I do have quite a few more spikes coming. I have some more spikes up there. One of my experiment orchids that I'm just giving well water, no fertilizer, is spiking. Diana's spiking. My Vanda is still in spike, and I'm kind of surprised. I've never had a Vanda spike for me before though, so I'm not sure how long the spikes are supposed to last, but this one's been around at least 2 months, I feel, and no signs of fading. I usually say that and then they start to fade, so I may have just sealed her fate, but she still looks really healthy, so we'll hope she keeps those around for a while. That's my Sensei Blue. This monster right here, my Saiku Marguerite, is amazing this year. I've never had anything like this. So if you take from here down, that's typically the type of spikes that I would get on her in, you know, my old growing situation. And yeah. This one still has some buds that have to open, but she smells beautiful. She's got this beautiful fragrance. It's like a really delicate vanilla fragrance that reminds me of vanilla wafer cookies. And, you know, from a distance, she looks really simple, but when you get up close, she's got this beautiful pink flush to her, which is really, really cool. Sometimes, you know, the details are just so spectacular. What else is up here? So I also, sorry, it went blurry. My Catatante, which has never bloomed for me again. I've had her for a couple of years. She's getting a spike. It's really far down in the bract though, so I didn't want to dig her out and show you because it's not that fascinating, but it's there. My other Shari Baby up there, she is also in spike. I have a Shari Baby bloom spike open right now. This is the one I shared with you during my last update. I did not expect to get Shari Baby blooms this year, but this one came along. So now there's a nice little faint chocolate smell to the grow room. And then this one, this is my Lava Glow. I think that's its name anyways. This is one that I bought from Kalapana Tropicals as a non-bloomer. So I got it on sale and she decided to give me a spike. So I don't have to wait a whole year. to get blooms from her, and I really am enjoying this bloom. I mean, again, it's another one of those, if you know, step back, it's like, oh, it's a reddish orange, whatever. But then when you come in close, it's just stunning. I mean, it's got like beautiful edging along the lip, and then there are different tones of copper and red and orange. The back of it's got beautiful coloring. Just a really pretty orchid. My other Wilsonara, my candy penny candy, is starting to open. And again, this is the biggest spike I've ever gotten from her. So it starts way back here and it goes all the way until it hits the window. And I can't keep it from hitting the window. I keep moving it back and it keeps hitting the window. So really a big spike. I have to say, I really feel like this move to this new house, the orchids are just loving it. I have my Polterima is still blooming. She's got really beautiful, like almost fluorescent blooms, and this is the peloric version. So she's got the 3 lips, which I really think is pretty. I bought the peloric version for, you know, on purpose. I know it's like a genetic whatever, but I don't care. I think she's really pretty. So she's doing really good. My oldest orchid, my oldest Val, is in spike. You can see it back there. I bought my first carnivorous plant. So this is a Venus flytrap. I really don't have any fungus gnats because I grow in water culture. But because of the mounts that I made, I do get occasional fungus gnats. And so I bought this to see if, you know, we can keep control of them. Again, I get like 1 or 2 here and there, so it's not like a problem, but I just thought it'd be nice to have one. I really want a pinguicula, but I can't really find any in my area, so I probably could order them online, but right now is not the time to be bringing plants to my area since there's snow on the ground. My vanilla plant is doing really good. I crossed it over to water culture even though I wasn't going to do that. And she's doing really good, surprisingly. She goes from there, up, over, down, back up, back down. She's doing really well. So I'm happy that she is liking the water culture. I have a lot of my Latourias are spiking. So I have back there, that's my royal chip. My Nora Takanaga is opening her next set of blooms. My Roy Takanaga has a spike right there. My microchip has some spikes. You can see them down there. My Atroviolaceum, which is my favorite Latouria, she has, I think, like 7 or 8 spikes. I love these blooms. This to me smells like white chocolate. So I just really love these blooms. My sweet sugar is losing her blooms, and they didn't last that long. And I remembered the last time she bloomed, when I first got her, they didn't last long. And I just kind of put that down to the fact that she had fusarium, but they didn't last long this time either. So I guess it's just a trait of this particular Oncidium. My pendulum, if you remember the last update I did with you guys, she had little nubbins that I wasn't sure what they were going to be, if they were going to be buds or cakey as well. Now we know. I've got buds. And this is one of those orchids that I purchased strictly because of the blooms. I didn't do any research into her care, growing conditions, nothing. I just wanted the blooms. And I actually purchased 2 because the first one that I got was in terrible shape. I still have it alive. It's struggling, but it's alive. So I purchased another one from a different supplier, and this is that one. So I'm very excited to see those blooms. I'll share them with you when they open. My red twinkle is starting to open up. She has a few more spikes to come. No fragrance. I don't think twinkles are supposed to be fragrant, but I could be wrong. There might be certain varieties that are, but really pretty, like pale pink. They say it says red on red twinkle, but you know, they're more pink to me, but very pretty. What else do I have? I can show you. My wildcat is in bloom. I have 2 of these and they're exactly the same. So I get one to bloom and then a couple months later another one blooms, and then a couple months later the other one goes back to blooming. So it's kind of cool because, you know, twice a year I have blooms on this, so I don't have to wait a whole year for more blooms. Really cool looking. This one, Specta something or other. I'm not gonna try to pronounce the name because I can't. But you guys know what I'm talking about. This one's in bloom, and these blooms are just beautiful, like in such a funky kind of way. I really love them. They have a strange fragrance. It's not strong. I have 3 spikes. 2 of them are open. The third one is starting. It's not a strong smell, and it's sweet, but it's got that faint, like, you know when you have a bottle of perfume and it's just an old bottle of perfume and it's got that weird smell to it because, like, the perfume's not really fresh anymore? I don't know. I don't know if any of you know what I'm talking about, but it's got that kind of fragrance to it. So it's not like a terrible fragrance, but it's not something you want to stick your nose in and take like deep gulps of their fragrance. It's not that appealing. I also bought another carnivorous plant. I bought a pitcher plant, and it comes in a box and it says it's a dormant plant, but I think dead is an actual better description because there was indeed some type of plant matter in the box, but I don't think it was alive. So I'm trying. I'm gonna see if maybe it is indeed just dormant, but not holding out a lot of hope for that. So anyways, bring it up here. My Schilleriana is still extending her spike. I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think she would give me such a long spike because it's so narrow. I've never had her spike for me before. I've only had her a couple of years, and she was quite a baby when I got her. So when I saw how narrow the spike was, I didn't expect to get a lot of blooms, but she just keeps going. So we'll see how that turns out. Very excited to have my first Schilleriana blooms in the grow room. My Gilded Tower Mystic Maze is in spike. I don't think I'm going to show you it because I would have to dig her out, but kind of excited about that. She was one of the plants that was in terrible shape when I got her, and she's gonna spike for me. So excited about that. What else? I can show, I have this phal is in spike. My favorite Phalaenopsis, which isn't a name variety, but she has Violacea in her, so she's got a really pretty citrusy smell. Her second spike is progressing, and it looks like the tip of her other spike is starting to extend. So we'll see how that goes. My pink girl, when she dropped her blooms, I left her spike intact. I'm of the strong opinion that these spikes carry a lot of nutrients, so I kind of have a tendency to just leave them there until the plant absorbs them. This doesn't bother me aesthetically. Some people it does, and they cut it off, and that's fine, but I just leave it there as like a backup source of energy for the plant. Well, she decided she's going to spike for me again, which I'm kind of, ooh, dear goodness gracious me, I'm kind of surprised about. I'm doing this with the wrong hand right now, but because she was in bloom not that long ago. So I'm kind of surprised by that, but I'll take it. I love her fragrance, and her blooms are just gorgeous. So as you could see, this Cattleya bloom for me, I love the way the lip just curls like that. The lip is so vividly gorgeous, and it's not coming through in the video, which is very disappointing because I really would love you to see how vivid this flower is. But just take my word for it. I've never seen these blooms before. This is a Cattleya that I got in a big box from Carmela's Orchids a couple years ago, and only a couple of those orchids have bloomed for me. A few of them have not. This is one of them. So just a faint fragrance, like slightly like rose petalish, but really, really pretty. Like beautiful, beautiful lip. And then they have like this edging of pink. So happy to see that. The Mary's Glory H&R had a spike that was developing, and then she decided to push out a new growth, and she dried up the spike. So, okay, I guess she got confused. But the new growth is huge. It's bigger than any that she's ever given me. So, you know, hopefully that one will bloom for us instead. The Alyssa Nahemi Compton, the sheath on her is still green and healthy, but nothing's happened. So I'm not fully convinced anything will. This is my phal. That's the Mani Black crossed with Pink Girl, and her buds are showing freckles. You know me and my polka dots, I just love it. So I'm really excited to see what these blooms are gonna look like. If they're gonna favor the Mani Black, or and have like that star shaped, or if they're gonna be more like the Pink Girl. I mean, with the spots, it seems like they're gonna favor the Pink Girl, but the buds are very narrow, so we'll have to see. I'll share that with you when they do open. Sorry, I have happy sap all over my hands now. What haven't I shown you? I think I've pretty much updated you on all of that stuff. I want to share how my transitioning orchids are doing. I know I did that series with you, and then I promised I was going to do an update, and then my grandma passed away and I just never got to it. So I want to do that because they're all doing really, really well, and I want to share that with you. I also want to my experiment orchids. I want to you know, give you full updates. I mean, as you can see, they're doing really good. My Paphiopedilums are doing good. My Zygopetalum is doing good. And I was convinced I was going to kill all of them. My Vanilla's doing good. I was convinced I was going to kill that. Some sad news is my Unicum. This orchid, I love this. I just love this orchid. The blooms on this remind me of like carrot peels. They're such a vivid orange, just so beautiful. And this was my first deciduous dendrobium, and it bloomed for me right away, and I'm just so sad. It got a really bad spider mite infestation, and I thought I got rid of it. I didn't, and it just kind of just killed off all the growths. And then I started watering it too early this spring, and I killed the root system, and this poor thing, what I put it through. So, I mean, there is still one cane that seems like it could possibly be alive still. So I'm holding all my hope onto that. If I can find a supplier with a Unicum, I'm probably going to purchase one in the spring because I need this plant in my collection. But I'm not throwing this out. You know, I know a lot of you would just get rid of it and get a new one, but I'm a fighter. I'm very scrappy. I don't usually give up on things very easily. So as long as there seems to be life in this cane, I will continue to try to fight for it. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on right now. And I'm going to try to do a couple more videos soon just to update you on how those transitioning orchids are doing. And then I am doing something new with my Phalaenopsis. A lot of you very clever, smart, observant people that follow me noticed in my last video that a lot of my phals don't have water in them. And you questioned me on that. And I want to share with you what I'm doing because it's turning out really, really well. I can tell you I am doing semi-water culture with them this winter. So, but there's reasoning behind it that I want to talk to you about because I think that it's very interesting. The response that they've had based on the reasoning that I came up with. You know me, I look at my plants, I watch my plants, I try to figure out what they're telling me, and I really feel like I figured out what my Phalaenopsis have been trying to tell me for a couple of years now. So anyways, I hope you guys are all doing really well. I hope that you and your families are keeping very safe and healthy, and have been well, have been enjoying the beginning of your winter. And I will talk to you all next time.